Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Creative Caffeine Podcast.
Fade it out this time.
That was such a better fade than last time.
Last time I was going up.
Yeah,
and down.
shout out to everybody who made it through the first 20 seconds of the last episode, because Ben was swiping it up and down. It was so jarring.
Yeah, no, it was.
I tried to fade it out, but I had to like keyframe some like audio adjustments. How's your week been, bro?
Yeah, good. Thanks. Long.
It's only Tuesday.
It
just feels long.
It feels like because technically my shoot yesterday started on Sunday because I drove half the way there on Sunday, so it feels like end of the week already now.
It's so weird because we both just filmed with the same person in the space of like a few hours.
Sides of the country.
Yeah, in two different sides of the country. Shout out Rob.
Rob and Siobhan.
Rob and Siobhan. Do you know the funny thing is, when I used to work as a nursery teacher?
Yeah, I got told yesterday it was Rob's mum.
Rob's mum was my boss.
Yeah. They said yesterday.
She's hilarious because I was playing, when I used to gig, I was playing Hitchin Beer Festival.
Yeah.
I was playing and in walks Rob's mum, my boss, with 2 pints of beer in her hand.
Oh my God.
She's like in her 60s, 70s. And my boss,
awkward.
and you just don't expect to see her at a beer festival.
That's so weird.
It was very random. Anyway, we've got a guest today, haven't we, mate?
We do. Wedding photographer.
Wedding photographer, the busiest wedding photographer in Hertfordshire, probably.
I don't know about that.
Oh, I don't know. A fire Instagram though.
Yeah, always posting.
Always posting. We got Kirsty Bubear on. Wait. Shout out the audience.
Yeah.
How are you doing, lovely?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Yeah. How has your year been so far?
It's been busy. It's been hectic, but it's been good.
Yeah.
And it's my first year full time as well. So.
Oh, is it?
Congrats.
Wow, that's a lot of weddings for your first year.
Yeah.
It's like full time.
Well, it's been a long time coming, but it's finally, because I was going to go full time the year that COVID hit, and I was literally like a week from handing my notes in, and my mum was like, "Don't do that." And then I was like, "Oh, weddings will be fine," and she was like, "Just don't do it." And I'm so glad I listened to her.
Yeah.
That saved me. I was furloughed, but it saved me for that year.
Why are mums always right?
I know, it's annoying, isn't it?
It's really annoying. They're like, bring a coat, you'll need it, I'll be fine.
Yeah,
freezing.
They know everything, they know best.
They really do. How's it been? I mean, we've just broken a rule. We've just like, usually we ask the first question that we fucked
Back
it.
to the first question.
Back to the first question. So we've messed up.
To be fair, we have gone a couple of episodes without even asking it.
Yeah, what was it? Bradley's episode. He was like, "Oh, by the way, battery." And we were like, "Oh my God."
He just knows.
Yeah, he do. So we like to ask our guests the same question each time.
Yeah.
What would you rather have? A battery that never dies or an SD card that never fills up?
SD card.
Yeah, it's a photographer's thing, isn't it?
What did I say?
Battery.
Battery.
Oh, I said battery, yeah.
Every videographer has said battery. Every photographer has said SD card.
I guess video uses your battery a lot more though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
And then, because I've got
for it.
like literally about 100 SD cards.
I guess between shots, if you really want to, you can turn your camera off and on. Whereas like, if I'm shooting the ceremony and it's like 20 minutes or something, just with the camera on 4K and it just rinses it.
And you can't change like
exactly.
So because I probably only use like 3 batteries in a wedding between
really?
both cameras.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that. What camera do you use?
A Sony A7 III.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's what I use.
Same as you. They are great, aren't
I
they?
went through about 6 batteries.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
I've got the 2 A7 IVs and I've got 3 actual Sony batteries and then like 2 third-party ones. And the third-party ones just drain so quickly.
Yeah, so I've got the same. I had one. I can't remember if it was this camera or my old camera, but it was this camera, and I had like the cheaper ones, and I left one in my car, and it burnt a hole in my seat.
Oh my word!
Tim said that, didn't he?
He said something happened with.
He said one of his expanded.
Yeah, so I had one on my car seat, and it was in the summer, and I've got like a glass roof on my car.
Yeah.
And it must have just got really hot, and it was and I hadn't even had my car long. I was
I've
well
got a glass roof as well.
Don't leave a battery on the seat.
That's the sort of thing I do.
It'll burn a hole.
Oh God, I've had a problem with. I can use them for photos, and they'll do okay, but then for video, I never really bring them out. They're in my little charging drawer over there, and they've got this same issue. Even though I fully charged them, they've not been in like a hot or cold condition. They've just been in my camera bag, fully charged. I'll put them in, and then like 2 minutes from recording, it says battery's been depleted.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Weird.
And the camera
It's got
then
too
won't
hot.
turn on.
That's weird.
It's really weird. But then
Yeah.
when I charge it, it'll charge for like a few minutes and it'll be full again. It's so bizarre.
That is weird. I mean, I guess it shows that you get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for,
But there is such a massive price difference, though, isn't there?
like, what was it you said the first episode? The price of Sony batteries.
Yeah.
They're like 60 quid, aren't they, or something?
Yeah, no, it is insane. Like,
They're unreal.
it's so worth it though.
They are worth it, yeah.
Definitely hold
Probably
out
for
longer.
you, yeah, for you guys. For me, I'll start with like the proper Sony ones,
Yeah,
and
and then
when I
once
have to
they're-
change, but it's normally not till like the dancing or speeches that I have to change battery.
Yeah.
Lasts quite a while for me.
Yeah.
Do you reckon you could, like, you know the batteries like for your monitor, the Sony ones? Do you reckon you could put one of them like externally on a camera?
There must be some sort of dummy system because that's running off a dummy battery there. And then that one there, that's running off USB-C. But it's got a battery in it, but it's just plugged into my Mac charger, just keeping the battery up.
Ages.
They do. There must be some sort of like converter,
I used to get
adapter.
like battery packs. Everyone used to
Yeah,
get
that's what I
that.
thought.
One BTEC setup I did once was it was the
setup.
BTECest setup ever. I had like a USB like charging bank, plugged it into my camera, and then like taped it to my tripod leg to keep it going. Honestly, I could have like submitted it to the Instagram page
I was
Shitty
gonna
Rigs.
say,
Yeah. Like they've got a podcast, and have you seen their mic arms? They've just got
No.
like Gorilla Pods and like C stands, and they've
No,
like taped microphones onto them.
my god.
And it really is like the shittiest
Wow.
rig.
I was going to say, I do follow them, I think, but I haven't seen anything from them in ages.
They post some really good ones. I saw one video that they posted the other day, and they were, when you try and get a smooth shot, you're on that thing with wheels.
Yeah.
This team obviously didn't have that, and they were using a lawnmower of a guy
Oh
sat
my
on it,
God.
pulling this lawnmower back to try and get a smooth shot, which I thought was great.
What is your favourite wedding venue of all time?
Oh, I don't know. People ask me this all the time. I was at. Did you see the one I was at the weekend in Liverpool? It's Sefton Park.
Oh,
House.
yeah. I think I
That's
saw
good.
it.
So that's the second time I've been there, and that's a good one.
Oh, okay.
But then I don't know whether it's just I love it because it's. I don't go there very often.
Yeah.
So I was thinking if I lived near here, I'd probably be here all the time, and the novelty would wear off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Because there's a couple times where I'm like, when you've posted and then there's like a venue that I'd never heard of before I shot there, and I was like, oh, actually quite a few people have actually filmed here.
Yeah.
Like done photography.
I
here.
did one in Scotland a couple of years ago, and they had like a tree house thing, and it was over a lock, but that's since blown down in a storm. I
Oh,
guess.
no.
But that was really cool. But again, it was like the novelty of it as well. So yeah.
We're off to Scotland in July, aren't we, for
Yeah.
a wedding?
Oh, are you?
Yeah, we're off to a place called Auchen or Auchen Castle.
Oh, okay, cool.
It looks nuts, doesn't
Yeah.
it? It's
Yeah.
it's just going to be full on showreel kind of shots.
Oh,
like,
Yeah,
definitely.
that's cool. I've got
There's-
one in Scotland at the end of the month in a castle as well.
Nice.
Really good.
I can't wait because I don't do too many weddings. You do more weddings than me.
Yeah.
I do them, but I just don't advertise really that I
Yeah.
do them just because I like the social side of.
That's like me
making
with
things.
photography though. I was like, I'll do it if someone wants it. But,
Yeah,
Yeah, but that'll be cool because it's right by a lake.
Oh, yeah,
proper
yeah.
castle, and
Looks
like,
so good.
it's like in the middle of a forest as well,
Oh,
which will be
that's
really
cool.
nice.
And also in Scotland, you can have the ceremony anywhere as well, so you could have it outside.
Yeah.
You can, yeah,
Stuff like that. There's so many restrictions here.
providing the weather,
Yeah.
Scottish weather.
When I did it, they did it outside. It was raining, but it was fine.
They powered through.
Yeah, they
Someone
committed to it. It was good.
Someone should make a little adapter to go on your lens. It's like a little umbrella.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be especially for the drone. I feel like
Yeah.
bring it down, wipe the lens.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So, how did you get started with your photography career journey and all that?
I don't know. I've always been into photography for as long as I can remember, to be honest. Like when everyone asks, I'm like, I just done it forever. And then the summer holidays between like year 10 and 11, so I was 15, I started working as like an assistant for a photographer in Letchworth.
Nice.
And then I did that again the following year. And then when I was at sixth form studying photography, someone contacted our teacher and about having like an assistant because his wife, he used to do it with his wife.
I thought that was my chair.
He used to do it with his wife. And she was having a baby, so I covered her maternity, and then I worked with him for 3 years.
Nice.
Then he stopped doing it completely because he had like a young family, and obviously like it's all your weekends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just sort of kept doing it on the side.
Nice.
So yeah. just built up really like gradually.
And full time for about a year.
Well, no, it needs like a few months.
Only a few months.
It's only since January.
Damn. Oh wow.
But I've been doing it about 15 years.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
But I studied graphic design and I've worked in graphic design and I just really enjoyed doing both. So
it's hard
there was no pressure.
Of a part-time job.
Yeah.
I feel like I had to keep booking off holiday for weddings.
Yeah, exactly. You use all your holiday just to go to work.
Yeah, even though I only work like right in the evening as well. I feel like just because weddings end up finishing kind of when I start work, it's a bit
Yeah, I think that's the hardest thing, and you just end up with no time off. A few times I would take like unpaid time off, or I would take with the weddings as unpaid from work.
Yeah,
because obviously you're getting paid. But yeah, that was.
Yeah,
I used to constantly begging at work, like, please, can I have this day off?
Yeah, because that's the thing. They can let you have the time off, but it's whether they pay you or not. Because you can use up all of your paid leave, but you can. There's some sort of loophole or legislation where you can choose not to work and just not get paid for it.
Yeah. And I was lucky that everywhere I worked was like they knew what I did as well, and they were like really accepting of it. I guess because it's still like they were still creative roles, and they knew before I got there. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've spoken to my supervisor so many times about it, and it's like can't drop as many hours, but at the same time they're like we'll be more flexible with it. So I was like, okay, that's cool. Just
I used to like call in sick all the time, but then like when it got or like be like, oh, I've got a doctor's appointment this afternoon on a shoot, on a shoot, and then like I'd come back from doing like a little portrait session, and they'd be like, oh, how's the dentist? And I'll be like, oh yeah, fine, yeah, it was great. I used to do that all the time. So why wedding photography? What led you down to that avenue?
I actually don't know. It's literally all I've done. Like it's just what I was interested in, I guess. I obviously do a little bit of other photography, but it just doesn't. I don't get the same like out of it.
Yeah.
Like my other job, I worked for Bad Monday. That was like obviously working with models and stuff, and obviously that was good, but it was like almost too easy.
Yeah.
And you didn't get the same like I didn't get the same like buzz afterwards. Like when you make someone feel really good.
Do it and then,
like when people they're like, oh, we're really not good in front of the camera and stuff. I'm like, you'll be fine. You really will.
You got this.
And then everyone's like, oh my god, I can't believe you've made us look like that. And I'm like, you do look like that.
That's the best feeling. Like because when you do like corporate jobs and like fashion brand and all that sort of stuff, and you send the photos, they're like, oh cool, yeah, these are great, on to the next one. But then when you do like a wedding shoot and they're like, oh my god, like we never saw these moments, or we look amazing, like it's the best feeling.
It's just it just makes you feel so good. So I think that's why, and I don't really, when it comes to like studio stuff, I've just got no interest in like all the lighting, and it's like it bores me, to be honest. So,
same.
Yeah.
That lighting wise, that's as good as it's really going to get with me. I hate I don't use a flash often.
No.
If I've ever used a flash, it's been one that I've borrowed or rented. I just prefer working with like natural light and just like one key light. I don't want to fiddle around with all like studio lighting.
It's just like I obviously use flash for like the evening shots at weddings and stuff, but again I literally don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just pressing buttons
that's like me. I'm like put my flash on, put it like the flash is on complete auto because I don't have a clue how to set it, but
and now as well, like front on flash has become quite like fashionable, which is so good, because before you'd have to try and bounce it off like the ceiling, but a lot of like wedding venues are like barns, so you can't, so it would never work. And
what we're saying about red coats.
We were literally chatting about red coats earlier.
How it's like the nicest venue, but as soon as it like gets a little bit dark, it's just instant grain.
It really is so much grain.
I shot a wedding there with Dave. I think it was about a year ago, and like the photographer was shooting on film, and she was like, "Oh my god, I cannot manage like any shots in here."
I don't know how anyone could just shoot a wedding on film.
I don't know.
That's risky.
Yeah, that's insane. But
because that's going to be expensive getting that all like developed and stuff as well.
Plus, it's like every single shot. Like, if you get it, like you can't even check it until a
Yeah.
month after.
I think people that do that are like really, really talented.
They must.
I think if I was going to do that, I'd have to like take 2 cameras and shoot one digital
exactly.
one. So at least you have
When I have done weddings, like I'll do, whether it's the photos or video, I'll bring like a little point and shoot and then just leave some of those on like the table for guests and stuff.
Yeah, that's one thing that I keep thinking, oh, that's a good idea. I'll do that.
It's quite nice. I've been doing that on portrait sessions. Like I'll do a portrait shoot and then take a Polaroid of them and they can take one away, and then I'll take one as well because I'm making, I don't know where they all are. I'm making like a big reel of all my shoots from this year.
Cool.
It's going to be a really long stop motion video.
Oh my god.
That would be cool though. I've got one of those Polaroids where you can.
They're
like,
really cool.
Save the pictures. So maybe I'll do it on my next one.
They're quite cool. We fell in love with them at like the trade show, didn't we?
Yeah, oh my
we
god.
were literally trying all of
Polaroids we wasted of like
Yeah.
our eyes at the trade show.
It's so good though because you can like take one of your friends and then everyone can have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all up. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, there we are. But the thing is, if everyone's got to be right in the middle, haven't they?
God.
Yeah.
Because it picks up the highlights, doesn't it? It really shoots for the highlights, which is nuts. So, with wedding photography, how would you describe your style of photography?
I don't know. I guess like just like natural. I don't know. It's very like in the moment, I guess. And
candid.
A lot of people, candid. A lot of people come to me because they're like, "Oh, your pictures. Everyone looks so happy and candid." And I was like, "Yeah," because I don't really tell people too much what to do. I just want them to just be them.
I was gonna say they're very vibrant.
Yeah, vibrant, warm, I guess. And like with it, they're taking inspiration from like with the edit with like film photography and warm, like retro kind of, I guess. I don't know.
I like that. I don't. When it comes to the wedding, other than the sort of more posed ones, I don't give too much direction because it takes the bride and groom away from the moment and they feel like the pressure of like, oh, should my hands be here? Should I do it look like
and
this?
Everyone's different, and like some people will be like really touchy-feely and some people won't be. So if you ask them to be like, you know, if you keep telling them to kiss and stuff, it won't look right.
Yeah.
If they don't, sometimes there'll be weddings and there's like 1 or 2 pictures of them kissing because they're just not that kind of couple.
Yeah.
And others are just like all over each other.
Yeah.
You just got to let them be them.
Do you get many like stroppy grooms that are like, oh, I really can't bother for the photos, I just want to drink?
Yeah, but a lot of the time they end up getting really into it. And they're like, oh, what about this? What about that?
Because I had one that's like the groom wasn't stroppy at all. Like it was freezing cold, but we were like walking around the grounds, and he was like, "Oh my god!" It's like the bride was like obviously just at the dress and being like, "Oh my god!" It's absolutely fine. I'm not cold, and he's like in his jacket, like proper freezing.
Yeah, I can. Sometimes I can really tell when people get fed up. Like either like one person or both of them, and I'm like, you know, we don't have to do this. Like it's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like read them quite well, and I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Some couples are like well into like having loads of pictures, and some are more reserved and they just don't want that. So I don't want them to look back on their wedding and be like, oh, I wish I hadn't have taken so many pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
I had a really awkward wedding once. I think, I can't remember if I've told this story on the pod. It was a very last minute one. It was an Indian wedding, and the mother
you told me that.
I told you, the mother of the groom hated the bride.
Oh.
Like absolutely hated the bride. When they got to the reception venue, she went through the back door because it's like tradition for the bride to welcome everybody in.
Yeah.
She went in the back door.
So you didn't have to talk to her?
Yeah, but she wouldn't say a word to me. She
God, so
we had to. She honestly, her face the entire day was just like that. I showed you the photos. I'll have to show you afterwards. It was really, really awkward. The bride didn't care. She was like, "Oh, this is the best day of my life. I'm happy. I'm not going to let it bother me." But obviously, with tradition, they have to get all their group photos. And I was like, really trying to be like the hype man, right? Everyone bunch in nice and close. Show us some teeth if you've got any. Nice big smiles. And the mother of the groom was just like, no. She did not smile during the speeches. She was on her phone, like.
Oh, that's so rude, isn't it?
Yeah, it was really, really awkward.
I've not had anything like that yet.
No, but then like sometimes, like you were saying with like a stroppy groom, I've had that once or twice. But then his best man will bring him a beer. A few minutes later, he's like, "Oh, hon, get on my back and I'll give you a piggyback or something for a photo."
I think stroppy was the wrong word, but I think like it was just
not feeling it.
Yeah.
It was so cold that it was like.
It's hard when it's cold.
Yeah.
Like, it really is, and like and also like a lot of the time people, well, obviously like the men are in suits, but the women are still in like sort of summer dresses. It doesn't really change.
Yeah.
But they want all their dress to be on show.
Yeah.
But it's like it's cold.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you kind of have to do it, and it gets dark so early when it's cold, so you have to be like, you've got to do this now.
A lot of the time, no, exactly, and I think a lot of the time the bride, like books the photographer and the videographer. So she's like, "Oh, I've seen these photos. I really want ones like this and this." And the groom's like, "You booked them, like, you just because
And the bride's pulling out the Pinterest board.
Yeah, exactly. Because obviously, she's. It's always the bride that's like, "Oh, I love this video that you've done, this video." And it's like,
sometimes though, I do get like, it'll be the groom that I'm in contact with more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, sometimes. And then you're like,
I rarely get contacted by the groom.
Yeah.
The broom.
But yeah, no.
So, just touching on Pinterest boards there, how do you work with like your wedding couples with like understanding what sort of vision they want when it comes to like their photos?
I think because I post so much on Instagram, like by the time they've contacted me, they sort of know that what they want is sort of my style.
Yeah.
But I do say to people, and I know that sometimes people can get funny about it, but I'm like, if you see anything you like, or even if it's from another photographer or whatever, send it to me, so then we can do something like that on your wedding. And sometimes, like, I put one up the other day, and it was like a long veil. And my bride from whose wedding it is on Thursday, she was like, "Oh my God, these veil pictures." And I was like, "Well, we can do that on your wedding." And it's like, it's good. And sometimes people send me like mood boards of my own pictures that they like, which is really nice.
That's cute.
But yeah. But most of the time, it's just they're just like, "We trust you."
I was going to say, you post so much that it probably literally is
they're
just
like,
one big mood board.
Yeah.
We'll
We'll link it below, but your Instagram is the most curated thing I've seen, and I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Like just all the warm orange tones. It just feels so autumnal, like all year round. I love it.
But then obviously, like in the summer, I think over winter they're a lot more moody because it's winter. But then over summer it is obviously more vibrant.
Happy. Yeah.
Because sometimes, I've got a wedding, at the end of April, and they were like, "Oh, can you like do some more vibrant? Because it'll be spring." And I was like, "Well, it will be more vibrant because it's spring." And I think that's when she said that it was like December or something. I was like, "Well, yeah, recently it's really moody."
Yeah.
So yeah, but it definitely suits like autumn and winter better.
I love it. Autumnus.
The sun's a bit annoying
that
sometimes.
was the worst mistake I've ever said.
But it kind of feels like it should be a word. We were talking
Autumnus.
What were we doing? We were filming some Instagram reels out in the woods, and we were talking about like autumnal shoots, and you said autumnus.
Yeah.
But it does sound like it should. Yeah, it should be a word.
I'll put it in the dictionary.
Put it in the Urban Dictionary. Yeah, it does feel like it should be a word.
Yeah,
have you two ever worked on a shoot to get like on a wedding together?
No. I see all your work on like Instagram and like the Bad Monday stuff as well, but we've not done a shoot together.
I was going to say, because like everywhere, like you're literally all over the local wedding venues, and I'm like, surely it's only a matter of time until like I'm the videographer on one of your shoots.
You've worked with Kaylee, who works with me a lot. Yeah,
that was so that wasn't even my shoot. I didn't even edit that, which
really?
is kind of like I kind of forgot about that one because it's not even. I don't think it's even on my website.
You were just there and it's gone.
Yeah, I shot it for someone else that edited it, so I was like, I don't think I even saw the end part. But no, she was really nice though.
Yeah,
she was like, I saw the photos on Instagram. They were really good though.
Yeah, so we met through. We're like best friends now.
Yeah.
Because someone asked her to shoot their wedding and she wasn't confident enough. This was about 5 or maybe 6 years ago. And then I didn't know her, but she followed me on Instagram and she was like, she suggested me. And then I said, "Oh, you can second shoot with me then." And then we just got on, and then she second shot with me for about a year. And then after like a year or so, we started doing things outside of work as friends. And now we're just really close.
I was going to say, I think she had shot at the venue a couple more times than I had as well. Yeah,
because I think it's quite local to her.
I can't remember what venue it was.
Was it Barnet Brook End, was it?
Yeah, that was it, yeah. It's quite nice there, though.
I've not been there before.
No, I hadn't been there before, and it was like, I was surprised, really, because it was actually quite a big venue.
I think it's quite new.
Is it?
I think so. But I always find that, like,
great.
you don't go to a venue, then you go to it once, and then you get more bookings for it. Or just out of, like, coincidence, just you're at, like, the same venue, like, in like twice in a row or something.
Yeah.
Like
I really like South Farm. That was my last one, and I was surprised I'd never been there before because everyone was like, "Oh, it's so nice. So how come you haven't shot there?" And I was like, "I don't know. No one's booked me there."
And it's quite local. And South Farm and Redcoats, I'm always at Redcoats.
Redcoats lovely, just not at night.
Yeah.
It's
all right with flash.
Yeah.
But obviously for video, it's dark, and like obviously the barn bit's quite dark, but
I feel like a lot of Redcoats looks the same though, in the way that the band is always in the little alcove. I was saying to Rob and Siobhan yesterday, because when they said about their bit there, they did one with Bradley, like shot outside just to vary it a little bit, because it is always like the exact same layout.
We were hoping to do it like a bit outside, but it was dark and it was pouring, and they weren't going to start their first set until about 9. The original plan was to do it like 7 till 8 and then little break and then 9 till 10.
Yeah.
But it all got pushed back by like an hour and a bit.
Yeah.
So it was like 9 till like 10 and then 11 till 12. Yeah.
I was going to say, I love like the outside area at Redcoats though as well, because you know when they changed the room around, like, it's not just like the little bar area outside, whereas at South Farm I feel like everyone kind of gets squished into the other little bit while they sort the barn out, and then it's a bit, I don't know, I feel like everyone kind of spreads out a little bit at Redcoats. So,
I know what you mean. Yeah,
I can never walk through the little bar area or like with my gimbal and my camera.
No,
I'm like, trying to get
through everyone.
But yeah,
I'm at a wedding venue on Sunday, not for a wedding. No, the guy who DJ'd my wedding, Mark Staples. Have you seen him before?
I'm terrible with names though.
Same.
So.
I'm awful with it. But he wants some new promo shots, but we're at Offley Place on Sunday.
Nice.
I do really like Offley.
Yeah.
It's really nice there.
I think it's recently changed like owners or something.
Has it?
They're really lovely.
I just want to ask a huge favour. We're a relatively new podcast, and it would be incredible if you could support the show by giving us a like or follow or subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to or watching us on. And if you could give us a review, that would be even better. It helps us get up the charts. The bigger the show gets, the bigger the guests get. The aim of this show is to give you guys value. The bigger the guests we get, the more value you guys get. It would be amazing to have your support with that. So without further ado, back to this week's episode.
I was going to say, I've never shot a wedding there, but I've done the photos for when they opened the ballroom bit.
Oh yeah,
which was really nice. Like it's all glass, isn't it?
It's
So
yeah,
lovely.
it's lovely. I've only done a few there, considering it's so local. But yeah, it's nice.
It's really nice. Yeah. So with wedding photography, I'm gonna presume. I mean, I know, but for those who don't know, there's gonna be a lot of editing, right?
Yeah.
How long does that typically take you?
To be fair, it doesn't take me that long. I guess I'd say between probably about 6 hours.
Nice, that's
6
good.
to 8 hours maybe. But I don't cull them because everyone, like, you know, if you go through and cull, but then I just go through and edit because I'm like, what's the difference?
Yeah.
So obviously the previews take quite long. The previews will normally take me about 2 or 3 hours because you're sort of going through them all and like getting the edit right. But then when I sit down and do the full gallery, I probably do it over 2. Well, I keep saying evenings, but I don't have to do it in the evening now.
That's true, yeah.
It's probably about,
Are you like a night owl as well, where you'll like sit down in front of the telly and be like,
yeah,
just grab my laptop.
Yeah, it's just easier. And I normally watch like Married at First Sight and get in the zone.
Yeah.
My wife's just started watching that, and she'll have it on in the background, and I'm just looking like, that's just trash TV.
Oh, it's so
but then
trashy.
I'll be working on my laptop, and then every so often my eyes are like,
it's so good.
like I just get hooked in it.
And obviously to work to as well, like all the trash TV is really good.
Catfish
but yeah,
and
probably
stuff.
it's probably about over 2 days I'll probably get one wedding done, so it's not too bad.
Nice. What I've started doing with shoots, particularly like weddings and events, like if I've got like a free time, you know, like when like there's reception drinks and you've got a little bit of time to sort of chill, what I'll do, I've been going through my camera and been manually 5-starring some photos in camera so that when I bring them into like Lightroom, I've got my previews all there and ready. I can filter to the 5 stars. That's saved me so much time.
Yeah.
I'm way more of a shoot person with weddings though than an edit. Like I feel like wedding edits take so long, and quite a lot of the time the brides then change their mind on stuff a little while after, and they've like suddenly decide, I don't want this person in the video anymore. Can you cut every shot of them out? It's like, fine, yeah,
sure.
Whereas like,
what happened?
I did 2 shoots yesterday. Well, I say 2 shoots. It was 1 shoot, just 2 songs in Manchester yesterday, and then just smashed them out this morning. And then like just the morning, it was just easy. Whereas weddings, it's like, actually no, can you like cut this? And like, I was like,
and there's so many parts to the day as well.
Yeah, and it's like because there's so many you have to. As you probably won't understand, but like in terms of doing music for it, like obviously it's not one piece of music for the whole video, and you kind of got to blend it and then somehow change, like, because you can't really have the reception music over the ceremony, but somehow blend 2 different genres of music. It's just
true.
I hate that.
Yeah, I think the editing for video is just a lot more.
It's a long day.
Yeah, it's a lot
Whereas
more.
You've got a way longer day on the actual day because you've got to organise people and.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but then. Yeah,
I just hoover up the footage.
Hoover up the footage.
The editing's pretty simple, really.
Yeah.
Especially because I've got my like presets now, all like
Oh yeah,
there,
nailed them.
so you
Yeah,
don't
so
really have to do much. So
yeah, Lightroom presets are absolutely
The ones spent too much money on them.
Yeah, that's
I always
true.
buy new ones, and I've had the same ones for like years, and I think, oh, I could do with a change, get new ones, but I'll still go back to the other ones.
Yeah.
Or maybe for like different shoots, like some styled shoots where you could be a bit more creative. But yeah, when I do weddings, it's always just the same ones.
Yeah.
Are those like your presets, or are they like a
no? I got
particular
them from
photographers?
Archipelago. Is that how you say
Oh,
Archipelago?
not heard of that one.
No. Yeah, I got them from there, and I've tweaked them a little bit, but it's pretty much just their presets, which are really good.
I've tried the what's it called? 1, 2, 3 presets.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you get ads. So I bought one of their deals where you get like 12 packs for like 20 quid or something.
Oh yeah.
Some of them were actually all right. I had no hopes or expectations. I thought they're just going to be like completely tailored to like iPhone or phone
because
shots.
it's hard because it depends on your camera, and they're all different.
It does, yeah.
But these ones, so they also do like they do like this thing called Quest, which is like £8 a month. You get a new preset every month. Preset or Photoshop. They did like a snow overlay thing.
Oh, nice.
And they're really good. So I'd recommend that to anyone because £8 is nothing really.
Yeah,
no, absolutely.
And you get to have all different
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I was gonna say I quite often buy the one that doubles up as LUTs as well, because like if you can buy a LUT and the preset, like if I like the video look, I can just put it on a photo and it will look exactly the same as the video.
That's true, yeah, because you can convert any Lightroom preset to a LUT.
Yeah, well, like the Pete McKinnon LUTs and stuff.
Yeah.
Say that you open Photoshop Raw, which is basically the exact same as Lightroom.
Yeah.
You can use them on Photoshop Raw, but you can't use them on Lightroom.
I know, it's really annoying because they got to be like .cube files.
Yeah, it's weird. But so now, like, because my mum does photography as well, she's like swears by using Photoshop. She's like, I don't even use Lightroom anymore because she just uses all my LUTs.
Photoshop's good, but obviously if you're only editing a few pictures at once, but when you've got like thousands to go through, it's...
I feel like Photoshop uses... Does it like use the cache as well? Like
yeah.
when
Oh my
Photoshop,
God. I don't even know what that means.
Caches
but every
up my
time
Mac,
it's like,
yeah.
oh, your scratch disk is full.
Yeah.
I get that
What
all
does
the
that
time.
mean?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't really know what
Googling
cache
for
files.
ages, and I'm going through like all of the internal storage on Mac, like delete.
I don't understand that, so yeah.
But the Lightroom catalog does the same. I have to delete that.
I have to delete my cache files. I think what cache files are like locally stored files, because I'll have Lightroom mobile on my phone, and then I'll be like, oh, why is my like phone completely out of storage? Then I'll go into settings and see every time you downloaded a photo, it saves like a cache version onto your phone. Yeah. Same with like Lightroom on your desktop.
Do you open a new Lightroom catalog though with every shoot?
I open up a new library because I use Lightroom CC, so I can just make a new album, dump all the photos in there, go through them, and then just delete the ones that I don't need, and then keep them on the cloud for the ones that I will keep there. So ones that say like I need to download in a pinch, I'll just keep them on there. Yeah. But the rest I'll just keep on a hard drive.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which works out quite nice because everything syncs up with the cloud.
Yeah.
So I really like
I
that.
never make a new library, new catalog.
Oh,
oh really? Is that the?
Well, it's a lot quicker. Like it runs a lot quicker. And then like if something happened to it, obviously like sometimes I don't know, you might lose like a batch of edits. It's, not too bad, but yeah, I make one for every wedding, and then I normally do like a monthly one for the shoot.
Oh, okay.
And it just runs a lot quicker. So I was gonna
say I end up having like one catalog for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But it probably runs quite slow as well.
Yeah, it does.
Like, so many pictures on there. So
and then I just like delete the whole catalog and restart again.
I never delete anything. I get so scared.
Yeah, same.
I'm the same. But recently I've been like, because using the Atmos, it's like 4K ProRes files, and it's just
chunky,
stupidly sized files.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't just keep afford to buying more 5 terabyte hard drives.
No, I know that's the thing. And every time I have to buy a hard drive, I probably know I'm not going to use some of the ones that I've had, but like, just in case. No, I need to buy one.
Even though it's like in my terms and conditions, and I'm like, oh, make sure you download your photos, make sure you got a backup of them because I keep for 30 days. They're definitely well and truly still on that hard drive. Like I just in case like a bride or groom's like, oh, our computer crashed, we've lost the wedding photos. I'm like, I got you sorted.
That's why I do USBs now, because I was like, then there's no excuse. They say no to the USB, it's their problem.
Yeah, true.
I do USBs as well, but I forget to post them quite bad.
I'm rubbish at that.
It's really hard. You're like, oh, okay, done, and then you forget about it.
Yeah.
And then like a few months later, people are like, have you posted the USB yet? And I'm like, oh my God, no.
I'm the same as well. I'm like, it was a little while ago, they were like, oh, have you done the USB? Because I finished the edit and just moved straight on to the next edit.
Oh no.
And then because obviously I sent them the video and then I was like, oh my god, it's a good job I didn't delete that because
yeah. Well, sometimes I'll be like bang on it and they'll have their USB within days or whatever, and then yeah, it's just hard to keep on top of it.
Yeah,
you
really
do
is.
switch off. You're like, okay, that wedding's done. I'm on to the next one.
onto the
Yeah.
So yeah.
You're like, I've edited them all. Next, done. And then you're like, oh no, still got more to do.
Got loads to do, yeah.
got all the admin to do. So what do you bring to a wedding? Like, what's your go-to sort of kit and lens?
So I have two Sony A7 IIIs.
Very nice.
And then I use 3 prime lenses. I have an 85 on one body all the time.
Nice.
So that's good for like, obviously like getting some candid photos and stuff. And then I switch between 35 and 24 mil on the other one. So obviously if it's a smaller room and stuff,
Yeah.
you have the 24 and group shots 24 and then 35.
You want a 24, didn't you? Was it a
Yeah,
24? 1.2 you were saying you wanted?
Sony lens I want. Oh yeah, no, yeah, the 1.
The 1.2, or was it 1.4?
I got
1.4.
all of mine are 1.4s, which is
I think
obviously
it's
really
1.
good for like low light.
Mm.
And it's this. So I got 2 Sony Art ones.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
No, not Sony Art.
Sigma?
Sigma Art. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the 85 is just a Tamron one.
They're
which was,
meant to
like,
be really
cheaper.
good.
And I just was like, because before I had an 85, I never used it, but it was the Sigma one. It was really heavy. This was when I was
Yeah.
using Nikon. And then, so I was like, oh, I'll get an 85, but I don't think I'll use it. And I got it on eBay secondhand.
Yeah.
For like, it was like maybe £400 instead of like £1,000.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
And yeah, I've had it like 2 years now and use it all the
Wow.
time. So yeah, I
Decent.
recommend.
I do want an 85. I mean, I've just bought the 70
You've
to
got to
200.
stop buying lenses.
Oh, yeah.
I have got to stop buying
That's
lenses.
big. That's a bulky one though.
Have you felt how heavy it is? It is. For the audio listeners, like it's
Yeah.
chunky. It's
That
so
should be a
heavy.
bad bag.
It literally, yeah.
You used
What
it on the
did you get that
podcast
for?
last week.
I got this at a trade show, so I feel like I'm just going to justify.
You got to justify
I'm
to yourself first.
self-justifying why I spent this much money.
They are good.
They are
Did it come
good.
with a black lens cap.
It did come with a black lens
should
cap.
put
yeah.
white on
They
there,
should
I
put a
think.
white one. The Mark II hasn't got those grooves in it. So you know when like, you put your lens down on the lens cap and it's, I can't do it with this because
Yeah.
it'll wobble because it's got those
Ah.
groove bits. But the Mark II's not got those dips. But I bought it for 1,700. It was £200 off, which is good. But then also in like 20 days, you got to wait 30 days. You can claim like £300
yeah.
cash back because Sony, if you register your cameras. So I registered 2 of the cameras, didn't even realise.
Cashback.
Yeah, literally. Even if you've bought it through Amazon or Wex or
Yeah, I
Camera
think I
World.
was meant to do that with one of mine. I bought on eBay. I get quite a lot on eBay because if they,
Yeah.
especially if they've been used in like a studio,
Yeah.
like with weddings, obviously I'm bashing it around all the time. But
Yeah.
like if you get one that's just been used in a studio, it's like in pristine
Yeah.
condition.
My B camera I use now is just from another music videographer from Hitchin, and I was just like,
Yeah.
it is pretty bashed up, but it does the job.
As long as
So
it still works.
Or like
Yeah, no, exactly.
open box or something as well.
yeah,
I thought-
yeah, that's true.
I mean, pretty much all of my lenses, except that one, have all been like Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
I'll just go bring, literally like the Sigma, the 2470, that's the art one. That was literally Facebook Marketplace. Just
Yeah.
met up with a
Wow.
guy in Westfield,
Yeah.
tested it out. There was no dust, there was no scratches.
Yeah.
It focused fast. I was
The
like,
thing is, I think
set.
with weddings as well, like, well, I'm not very precious about them. You can't be because it's like, it's just, yeah,
They're gonna be-
you bash them.
yeah,
Blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
Like, well, it doesn't have to be perfect when I buy it, as long as it
Yeah.
looks good and works.
Yeah, as long as it gets you from like A to B and the
Yeah.
results are good, you're not having to worry about.
You get
if
way
it's
too
gonna fu-
comfortable, don't you?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
with that, I'm going to be very precious with it. But
It's like,
Yeah.
because my mum's like quite a casual photographer, she's always like, oh, where's your lens cap? And then it's
Oh,
like,
I don't have any lenses.
no,
I
neither do
lose them
I.
all.
Apart from like, well, when I buy a lens, it'll be there for about a month and then it'll go.
Yeah.
But I'll be like carrying my camera just like on the end of my fingers, just
Yeah.
out of habit, because it's like, I don't know, I'm just so careless now because it's fallen off so many tables at weddings and stuff. Whereas my mum's like, oh my God, so you need to buy a strap for it. And I was like, you can't, if you're doing a video, then it's not
Yeah.
going to work.
yeah, true. Yeah,
But
you need it.
if I was a photographer, it'd be so helpful just put a strap on, I think.
Yeah,
but-
because I've got that harness. It's just like,
I need to get like a little dual harness thing. I
need
found
to-
a really
yeah,
nice
get
leather
one.
one.
I just need to get one of the like easy clip things so they come off easily, because it takes
oh yeah, like you
ages
can get
to...
a belt, can't
Yeah.
you?
You can get the peak design capture
the
clip.
little-
Well, you can get one to go on your camera bag, which I've got on that one over there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it just
and also
slides.
the base plate works on like any tripod, so that's the
so
peak
good.
design base plate is on that tripod. But you can get one that goes on a belt buckle,
Oh,
and I'm
okay.
pretty sure you could probably use that one as like a belt buckle. You just tighten it up,
Oh, right,
like,
yeah.
tighter.
Just handy.
Coming quite handy, yeah. So what has been your favourite wedding to shoot? Like, have you got one in particular? I mean, obviously every wedding couple is your favourite, but what's been your favourite one so far?
No, there's just a few. I like the ones where they're just a little bit different. So they've had like a one where they had like dodgems and stuff like that. That was just now, but that was cool, and that always sticks out in my mind. And obviously the Scotland one was good, again, because it was just like a treat to go up to Scotland and shoot somewhere like that. And just anywhere, I feel like it's like my taste, like disco balls and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's like what I would have.
Yeah,
always like sticks out as like a favourite because I'm like, this is cool because it's like my sort of style, I guess, like what I would have. But yeah, any wedding really.
What would be your dream location? Like, I think one of my friends said she'd love to shoot like an elopement at like Black Sand Beach in Iceland.
Yeah, I'd love something like that, or like Vegas would be cool.
Would be cool.
Really cool.
Or like
have like an Elvis there or something.
Yeah, like somewhere like that, or like Ibiza or something.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Like really chill and that's like really fun. Would be good.
Ibiza's a nuts place.
Yeah,
It's a
I did
crazy
get asked
place.
to do a wedding in Ibiza for someone I went to school with, and I was already booked for it.
Oh, damn. It is nice when you get
Vegas. Someone did say, I don't know if they were being serious. They were like, would you come to Vegas? I was like, yeah, what
Yes.
day is it? And they were like, this day, and I'm like, can't do it.
Oh, damn. It is really nice when you get a request for a booking. You get like, they tell you all the details of the day, and then they go, also, it's in this country, or it's over here, and it's like a different location, or you get asked to travel, and it's really nice. Yeah.
I love traveling. It's like, it's just really good. I know some people, I guess if you've got like a family and stuff, you might just only do local, but while I haven't got anyone else to worry about, it's nice to be able to go all over, which is good.
I work a lot with Viking River cruises, and it happens at least once or twice a month now. They'll message me a week before a ship's leaving, and they're like, oh, I've double booked myself. Can you cover this cruise? And I'm like, I've got stuff booked there. Like, message me like a couple of months in advance, and then they send me all the details of the cruise, where it's stopping off, like Alaska, this place, that place, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, these like amazing locations,
and that's a river cruise.
And they do river cruises, and then they do like the big big sea cruises. Yeah, they got one that does like from like Alaska to New York, but they've recently just finished editing a podcast for them. Yeah. And they've been to Antarctica. They're like it's like the first group of people to go to this area of Antarctica. Oh, that's cool. And they recorded all of this
on a boat?
On like this boat thing, yeah.
Wow.
Well, do they have to cross that? Is it Drake Passage?
Yeah. So they spoke about that, yeah. And they
I've seen so many TikToks of that, and I'm just like, that's terrifying.
It's jarring. Yeah. There's all these little audio files and sound effects that they've sent me, and they're recording one of the podcasts. It was only on like a little Zoom recorder, where they were just going like that to people. And then in the background, I was like, there's some sort of chirping, and she went, and I was like, it was going on for quite a while. And then the host was like, oh, apologies if you can hear that. There's about 20 penguins that sat behind us. And I was like, bless.
That's brilliant.
Oh, I'd love that.
It was really cool. Like, it's a shame there's no video of it. It's just audio that I was editing. But yeah, they'll message me all the time, like, can you cover this cruise? And I'm like, a week before. Yeah. And they're like,
annoying.
Yeah.
And that's the bad thing as well, because I get booked up so far in advance that like I get booked up, and then I'll get like a really cool inquiry, and I have to turn it down. Like, I had one recently for like a cinema. They were like, we're like nerds, and we got like a cinema wedding. I was like, I'm already
so
booked.
Cool.
I've got a wedding in July, like a week before we go to Scotland, but the wedding's like a music festival themed. So they've got like tents and teepees and stuff.
So cool.
Yeah, anything like that. I think people now are getting more and more creative with weddings and realising you haven't got to be traditional and stuff.
I love the teepee weddings.
Yeah.
I don't know why, I feel like it's such a good vibe, and I feel like it's just because it's so different.
And when people have like the first dance outside,
I like
that started in like obviously COVID, like when you could only dance outside, but like that was so nice. And I had one last year where they had a teepee, and it was all the dancing was outside. Yeah. And that was lovely. It's just different.
I found the quirkier weddings and the more sort of niche weddings, everyone like in the party are much more relaxed, particularly like the bride and groom. They're down for any pose. They're cool to like hug and kiss and stuff, which, you know, when you think about it, it's quite awkward. It is a weird thing to ask people to kiss in front of camera and stuff because it's not natural,
weird,
is it?
yeah.
It's just
I know.
like,
I'm always like, oh, you just got to hold every single kiss a little bit longer than you would. It feels a bit weird.
It does.
Or I'm like, oh, I sound a bit like a pervert now.
It really does sometimes, doesn't it? And, like when you're trying to get like a different frame, and like, oh, just kiss one more time, one more time. Oh, that looks great. One more kiss. And then
like professional pervert.
yeah. Why is that not a company name for someone?
Should be, yeah. Especially with that big lens you got, that new one.
Literally, like,
oh my God.
I sent like one. I posted it on my story, and one of my clients was like, "Oh, is that your new perving lens?" I was like, "No, it's for shooting lions or animals and stuff." Lions. Well,
but also yes.
Well, you wouldn't go and capture lions on a 11 to 24 or like a.
Yeah, but what lions are you capturing around here?
Have you got a trip planned to go?
No, I just meant like so I don't get eaten by lions or something. You know, when you're at the zoo and you got like, so you can zoom in. I phrased it really badly, but it's
when
like,
you go to Hitchin, you
yeah.
might come across a couple.
You've seen things in Hitchin, like there's some sites, but I can't remember what we were chatting about. But yeah, it is like professional perving, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And but when I've shot like niche weddings, like festival ones or outside ones or really sort of like makeshift weddings, like they've been really, really relaxed.
Yeah. Also when people have celebrants as well, instead of like the I don't know what they're called, the official people.
Or
registrars,
yeah.
I think
that's
really much more relaxing, and because people then they go to a registry office like before or after, but there's a lot less pressure on the day because it's like, oh, we're already married. But
yeah.
Sometimes the guests don't know that, but it's like a much more personal and like relaxed sort of ceremony, which I think people are doing more and more of now.
Yeah. I was just on the phone before we started recording to, actually, was it last week's guest? No, the week before, Tiggs. We were on the phone. She was asking if I can help her on a shoot, and it was the video side of things, and she was getting like, she has got like problems with her wrist and ankle, so she's had like multiple surgeries on it. And I was talking to her about like the longest wedding I'd done, which was a Catholic wedding, and the ceremony's like 3 hours long. Really? And the amount of like back pain I had, and it was like, it got to a point where I was just shooting for the sake of it.
They're really long, and also with like Catholic weddings and stuff, sometimes they're really strict on when you can and can't take photos.
Yeah, they gave me like a full-on briefing, like you can't stand up there, you can't stand to the side, you literally, they were like, find your spot and stay to it.
It does annoy me when like they change what, like a lot of like vicars do it as well, and they're like, oh no, you can't stand here, you can't stand there, but I was like, well, the couples book me because of like what I've done before, and if I can't do what they like in them videos, then it's going to come back on me.
When I first started out, like it was really strict, like, and it was pretty much always a church wedding since like 15 like years ago, and you could only take pictures like when they were coming down the aisle, the vows, the rings and the kiss. You couldn't do any like candid stuff in between, whereas now it is more relaxed. But sometimes I was at one in Liverpool, and the vicar had like a big stick, and he was like, get back.
Oh my god,
I wanted me to get back. It was so funny, and it was just like a running joke of the day then, because I was like,
was there a videographer there?
No, it was just me. I wish there was, wish someone had it.
I could just imagine like you're taking a picture and he's whacking your hand with like a ruler or something.
We were all like laughing so much because it was funny. And also I've had it before where like they've been like, you can stand there and take pictures, but then they've told you to stop because your camera's annoying them. Then that's really hard, because you're like, well, I can't do my job, and it's difficult.
It's really hard because, especially on the photo side of things, with video, I think your camera, you can turn it off, you can turn the beep off, but with photo, obviously you're going to be clicking away, and bursts of 3 or 4 shots every few minutes.
It's good though with the Sonys, they have
silent
shooting,
but obviously that only works if it's light. If it's a bit dark, it doesn't really work.
The autofocus goes a bit.
It goes like,
iffy.
you get like banding. But if it's like good lighting in there, then you can do the silent, it's fine.
Which is really nice, because we've both done shoots at Stevenage Registry Office, and you could hear a pin drop in there.
Oh really?
It's not the one. It's not the one. On the list of wedding venues that are our favourite, it's right down the bottom. But silent shooting mode was great. But then it was like the the bridesmaid was like, she said to me, "Did you even take any photos?" I didn't hear a single button.
I feel like that as well when I'm using it, because I'm like, I don't know if I've taken anything.
Yeah.
There's like nothing to like, and I
Takes a
don't have
while
the
to get
previews up, like, you know,
it.
the immediate previews.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit scared that I haven't taken any pictures.
Because I've done quite a lot of photos for like my old uni lecturer, because like on his behind the scenes for films and stuff, and obviously if they're recording audio, you can't. It's just constantly like little quiet photos. But as soon as you turn it on, it takes about half an hour to actually be like, oh no, I am actually shooting. To begin with, it's so strange.
Yeah.
It's like, what is going on?
I've set it to that by accident once, and I couldn't work out like why it wasn't taking pictures.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh no, it's fine.
I wish it could like vibrate when you take a photo or something, so you can at least feel that you've taken one. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good shout actually. You know when you like you press the button on your phone and then you get like the haptic feedback.
Yeah,
that's
a little
actually
haptic on a camera.
They should add that into a newer one.
We were talking about that on a pod. Like, what would we love to see in cameras in the future? Haptics now, but also other than Hasselblad's internal storage.
Yeah.
Because that'd be nice. Because if you like, one of my friends who we had on, she's got a Hasselblad and it's got like a terabyte of internal storage.
Oh my God.
That's
goals.
insane.
It's unreal.
Hasselblads. I've only ever like touched one once.
I've held one a couple of. It was a good day. I slept well that night. They just look so amazing.
Yeah.
Even like unedited, like the pictures you get from them just look nuts.
Yeah.
They should do for the price though, shouldn't they?
I mean, what was it like? Nearly. I think one of the kits on Wex is like the Hasselblad X2D with 2 lenses. Is like 11.5 grand.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. That's like a holiday. That's a honeymoon you could take. Like,
it's a wedding.
It's a wedding. It's a wedding.
I don't know. Maybe half a wedding. I don't know how much they cost now.
Yeah. What's the average people spend on a wedding now? It's like 20 grand or something.
I think I saw it was like 17 or 20.
That's why, like, I feel like so many people, if I do like a music video, they're like, "Oh, I can't afford to budget for that." But if you give someone a wedding price, it's such a small price of their day that they're like, "Yeah, I'll do that."
It's the same amount of work.
Yeah. No, exactly.
It's strange. When you're talking about like silent shooting, my favourite part of the day is shooting the ceremony, but it's also the hardest part because you don't want to annoy guests, but also you're there to do a job. You've got to try and do your job in the most discreet way possible. Like I'd had a wedding once where I was allowed to just roam anywhere. The registrar was really chill, so I got there like half an hour earlier, said, introduced myself, and I was like, oh, so what's the rules? Where can I stand? And she was just like, do what you want. Like, she was really chill. Yeah. It was really nice. Yeah. But then I was walking up and down the aisle, I'd like tiptoe in, so I didn't make any noise. And like one of the guests just looked at me and went, like, I'm doing a job. Like, at the end of the day, if you don't wander up and down and get different shots, the bride and groom ain't going to be happy.
I think the ceremony is one of my least favourite parts.
Is it? What's your favourite part?
I really like the getting ready part.
It
feels like you're getting ready for like a night out. It's just the buzz of
the venue's always so different as well because it's always in a different sort of style. Like,
and it depends. Like sometimes people are really chill, sometimes they're a bit more rowdy. But even like with the guys, like guys as well, guys are always just like having a drink. That's one of my favourite parts. And then I do really like getting the portraits, but then also like the wedding party pictures.
Okay.
Nice, yeah.
And then the party at the end, I love doing that.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the ceremony for me, I feel like there's a bit more pressure.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit, it's just a bit more boring for me personally because I'm not in control of it.
Yeah.
True,
Whereas like when the rest of the day I can sort of like be in control of it.
So yeah.
For the videographers doing the group shots, it's easy, isn't it?
It's so easy, it's boring.
Yeah.
Because it's like understanding it. I was like, I've got to try and make each bit look different so it's not like a 30-second clip in the video of just one group after another, whereas like
gimbal
just
left
like
and
the family ones for me are more boring. But to be honest, most of my clients don't really have many family photos. They're pretty much done in like 15 minutes. And then the wedding party ones is where you can be like fun, like walking, smoke grenades, like
nice,
do more fun stuff.
You love smoke grenade, didn't you?
I did as well.
We did a couple in the snow, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
I had one left over from a shoot. I couldn't remember where it was from. It was just in my bag. And we're just at Hitchwood, weren't we?
You were right in the snow.
In the snow, and I was like, let's do it now.
They're a little bit like cliche, but I just think like they just look so cool.
So much
when the weather's right and the wind's not blowing them and just spreading the smoke all over, like, it looks really cool.
When it's good, it's good.
It's really lush. So as we wrap up, what advice would you give to someone who's looking to get into like wedding photography and get into that niche?
I guess just like shoot as much as possible. I think it's really hard because I get a lot of people ask about second shooting at weddings, that people that are starting out, but you can't really, I haven't got the time to like train someone on a real wedding, and obviously you've got to deliver like a high standard of picture, so it's hard to do that, and I wish I could help more people. But now you've got like workshops and styled shoots that you can get on board with, and I think that's a really good way of like learning and also meeting other people and networking. I didn't really have that when I was starting out, so I had to go from like assisting, and I was lucky that I had those opportunities. But now with like styled shoots and workshops, just get yourself on those, it's worth the money.
Styled shoot days are great because you can get to you do, like you say, get to network and just try your hand at that. You might never have done wedding photography before, but you could go to a day. I know Awfully Place did one a few months ago. I went along to that to do like the behind the scenes stuff of it, and it's really nice.
And there's there's a workshop called Killer Filler, which is one of the ones that I did in 2019, and they're really good, and they're local as well. And just get yourself onto one of them. And it's not like a real wedding; it's completely different. But it gives you that portfolio, and there's people there that you can speak to and get advice from and stuff like that. So
cool. Amazing stuff. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
That's
it's
okay.
been lush chatting with you, chatting with a fellow Sony shooter.
I feel like
Sony
everyone's on Sony now, though.
They are switching. It seems to be everyone's.
To go.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Everyone seems to be switching to Sony and DaVinci Resolve. But anyway, on that note, Kirsty will leave all your links in the description.
Perfect, thank you so much.
Have you got a website? Yep. So we'll put all like your website, Instagram down below.
If there's anyone getting married watching, it's another photographer to add to your...
Not this year though.
Fully booked this year. But Kirsty, thank you so much for coming on.
No, thank you for having me. It's been good.
Cool.
Happy days.
Because I feel like people have so much choice of who to book now. If they would look